I go strictly on protein and fruits most of the times because that has been my favorite. So I think the reason why I stick onto that because it's good. It keeps the body fresh. It helps in so many aspects, most especially the organs of the body. It helps a lot of organs of the body.
It's good to eat good food when you start to come up more than when you were youth. But along the line, if there is no enough money, you can't do otherwise than to manage your life.
I eat fruits. I take much vegetables for easy digestions, and I take little of carbohydrates, so as to keep myself fit.
I would prefer at 14 to continue with fruits, which is more vitamin, and whole grains, which is less carbohydrates, so that I can live more healthy and stronger.
I like fruits a lot. I eat a lot of fruits and light food. So I don't really like something hard on me. I like to keep my body fit.
I don't eat excess. I don't eat what would disturb me. I eat what that can satisfy me at that moment. I don't eat more than what I can eat.
Tiffany Johnstone says it took her 40 years to learn to love herself. And she further says that she doesn't have the time to teach anybody else how to love her. But it's our responsibility to age responsibly. 40 will come for many of us. How do we handle it when it comes? That's why I took the time to talk with Dr. Ebuta Agbo. He's a medical practitioner and he does a lot of outreach work. But he found time to chat with us and enlighten us further. How do you manage attaining 40 and beyond successfully? Here's what he said.
The life before 40 ideally should be spent preparing for life after 40 to a large extent. And if you consider it from the health point of view, you would want to go back to the definition of health, which has to do precisely with physical, mental, and social well-being. So ideally, your physical well-being is a factor, your social well-being is a factor, and your mental health is also a factor. So you should spend the first 30, 40 years of your life living in such a way that allows you to enjoy the rest of your life after 40. So you physically involve yourself in activities that act in a balance to create something in favor for the life after 40. So it's important that you maintain the right weight, because if you are obese before 40, I can almost assure you that it's going to be an uphill task to achieve optimal body weight after 40. If you are involved in certain social activities like smoking, drinking, there's always a balance. Most health personalities will tell you that there's a certain quantity of alcohol that you shouldn't consume beyond, and then it becomes deleterious to your health. But when it comes to smoking, it's a completely no-no. You shouldn't go there. The commonest problems the heart would expect to get after 40 is hypertension. So if you control your blood pressure, you get a check and you control your blood pressure, to a large extent, you improve your chances of a better heart health. And there are certain components that are more important to determine the effect on the heart health. For example, the LDL cholesterol. If you have high levels of LDL cholesterol, you do have a problem. You need to get checked, and that level needs to be optimized. And there are specific levels for specific condition and specific risk. This can be determined if you sit down with your doctor and he does a test and he analyzes your risk and he decides, okay, this is your level of risk and this is what your cholesterol LDL should be. And if it's not at this level, we probably need to do something to bring it down in terms of medications or lifestyle to a large extent. The high levels of the LDL cholesterol, not just the total cholesterol, the LDL cholesterol, is associated with an increased risk of obstruction of the vessel that supplies the heart, increasing your risk of a heart attack. So to a large extent, if you have a risk factor, or if you have a high level of LDL, you probably need to check your heart. See your doctor, you do ECGs, they do evaluations of the heart, and they take a decision whether you fall into the category of people you need to optimize your risk by taking medications, instituting some lifestyle interventions. So exercise, what the evidence is that minimum of 30 minutes is required, 5 times a week, of minimum of brisk walk. You can increase it, weight bearing and all that, but brisk walk is the baseline. That makes a significant difference. So even if you are doing it and you don't notice any weight loss, you are already improving your health. If you notice weight loss, then it's an added. But if you want to do exercise to increase your chances of losing weight, you probably would want to do more than 30. You probably would look at 60 minutes to a large extent. So exercise is absolutely important for weight optimization, for health maintenance, and indeed for lowering the blood pressure. So you need to lower your carbohydrate intake. You need to optimize your fruit and vegetables intake. You need to lower your fat intake. And to a large extent, you need to get your calories right. You need to, there are formulas to calculate. Sometimes we do 30 calories per kilogram, roughly, and we kind of correct for extra activity. So if you are going to be very active, we'll probably add 30% to that. So you could get a body mechanic, you could get a doctor, you could get a family doctor who is accessible at all time and is able to bridge the gap between your needs and your true needs and possibly your desires. In Nigeria today, we have about 4,000 health facilities spread across. These are divided into primary, secondary, and tertiary. We have all kinds of specialists for almost every disease. There are challenges with knowing who to go to, where to go to. It's much cheaper to start today, to take your health seriously, and assess the health care you need, because it's available, it's somewhere in this country waiting for you to call. So you could do a check every birthday you have, so that spaces out every year. And then you should do those things we said, like weight optimization, exercise, eat right, low salt, stress management, no cigarettes, and less alcohol.
You really do have to embrace getting older, because as we continue to grow, we lose some people along the way, and that makes us further appreciate life and realize that life is indeed a gift. So says Meryl Streep, Nollywood actress and world-renowned icon. And many of us also agree. Also, as you get to 40, you're advised to make some healthy lifestyle changes. Are you making them already? What about your food? What changes have you made to your diet? Well, Jane Ayawo is a dietitian and nutritionist. She takes it from here.
Right from the day we were born till that 40, there are different eating habits that come in. We often hear about exclusive breastfeeding. That's an eating habit meant for children from 0 to 6 months that they should be taking. From that 6 months, it changes to another pattern of eating habit, which we call complementary feeding. It's complementary because it's a type of feeding that complements that of breastfeeding with breast milk only. Then that continues also when the child becomes a toddler, preschool age. The environment where the child finds his or herself can also determine the kind of foods that are available. Those ones shapes also the eating habit that that child finds his or herself with. Most people grow with this, except they are well informed that maybe they can go into other types of food which might be beneficial to their health. This continues until the person gets to adolescence. Adolescents, we know their lifestyle because of their exuberant time. They exert a lot of energy. They have a lot of physical activities they engage in. By the time they are now getting to youths, maybe those activities are now slowing down. They might start paying a little bit attention to what they eat or not. For people who are informed, who can lay their hands on nutrition and information. But why it is necessary is because for every decade of life, the metabolic rate starts reducing, it drops. It slows down every decade. For the youths, for the adults, it's likely that they can maintain theirs because there is almost an equilibrium with what they eat and what they burn. They burn more of the calories, so it coincides with whatever quantity of food they now take in. But when you now becomes an adult, even by then, certain health issues might have started trickling in. So those can be the constraints to certain functions of the body. Most health issues are being cautioned that as from 40, you start watching out for that. The vitamins and minerals are mainly gotten from fruits and vegetables. And in our country, we have a lot of fruits, we have a lot of vegetables. But as we are talking about feeding pattern, feeding habit, on between 30 to 40, I personally view it as a transition age, because by then, out of experience, you must have seen a dad, a mom, auntie, or someone who must have suffered one type of health challenge or the other. And scientifically, it has been proven that most of the non-communicable diseases that human beings now have to suffer are based on the type of food they eat. There's a saying that also say that you should eat breakfast like a king, lunch like a prince, but dine like a pauper. So those things will also come into play because now you are being conscious. It's something we'll call defensive nutrition paradigm. It's a form of education that tells you that you have to start slowing down in certain things because the body is not working, it's not functioning as it used to function before now. Is an amazing number. Whoever that clocks 40 should be happy indeed. You're happy, you know you are now a full-grown, matured person. There are a lot of things that come at 40, the experience and other things. Just like the saying that life starts at 40. By living this positive life, what do you mean? The way you live your life, the kind of foods you take in, it still brings down to eating right, adequate diet. Because we mentioned that is from this diet, if you don't eat them right, they can easily predispose us to a lot of non-communicable diseases. We mentioned them that hypertension, we expect it from 40. We say men should watch out as from 40. Stroke, even to some extent, osteoarthritis, sexual dysfunction, all these things start setting in because the body is no longer working at the pace it used to work before now. Everybody has to make deliberate effort to eat right so that you'll be able to enjoy life to the fullest. Make sure you live a functional life. Be proactive about your eating habits and always look for the right food. It's not always about the cost of the food, but you can get a balanced diet in a cheaper way. They must not be costly foods. When you look out for them and when you take that, it implies to every individual, both old and young, everybody should eat right. There is adequate diet for each individual.
You realize more often than ever before that you don't have time for drama or any deep intensity. You just want to go home after a day of hard work, relax with a wonderful novel, fiction or otherwise. Have a wonderful cuppa. It could be coffee, it could be tea, but some liquid that you really enjoy. This is by an unknown author, but it's something we can all align with. We want less drama as we grow older. We want to have more fun. We want to make the right lifestyle choices. We want to learn how to eat right. We want to stay healthy. And that's why we imbibe exercise. It's time to work out.
How many points have you racked up in your wellness kitty today? We are racking up a lot of points. We came to the Jabi Park and it's so exciting to find young children getting involved in wellness. We found young children playing ball. We found them roller skating and now we see them doing taekwondo. All in a bid to stay strong, to stay well, to stay vibrant. What are your children doing today? How much wellness points are you helping them to rack up?
the first 40 years of our lives are always the hardest. But many believe that once you hit that mark, it continues to get easier. You are learning from your mistakes. You are imbibing responsive and responsible qualities. You're learning how to impact people and your environment in a positive way. You are learning the best way to eat and live well. You're learning the best exercises that suit your body and suit the time you have to allocate to your workout. You're learning how to be responsive in your neighborhood and in the workplace. You're learning to love over and over again. I want us to be around together for a very, very long time. And I must say a big thank you to you for taking time out of your busy schedule to be with us on the program Wellness and Living. Do it often and often again. And do go to our social media handle, Wellness and Living at Nigerian Television Authority. Spend some time there. Tell us what you're thinking. Tell us what is happening in your neighborhood as regards our health and how we can upgrade it successfully. We've been talking about life before 40 and managing it successfully once you hit that hallmark of 4 and 0. The program has been Wellness and Living. My name is Thelma Obaza. Do have yourself a productive day. For now, it's bye.